Data people. This is our moment. More than ever, the world is turning to data for understanding, for insights, for answers. This is the time for data people to come together, to embrace the power of data and make things better for everyone, everywhere. Welcome to Tableau Conference. Ish.
Hello, Tableau Data Fam, Einstein Analytics Trailblazers, and data geeks of every stripe. I'm Adam Selipsky, CEO of Tableau. Welcome to Tableau Conference, Ish. Thank you so much for joining us in this new venue. I have to admit, this is new. I've been adjusting to sitting at home, presenting to folks with a cat on my lap, hearing the neighbors' dogs barking, and seeing one of my kids doing yoga down the hallway. I know we've each had our own reality the past 6 months, and that it's been hard for so many. While I truly wish we could be together in person, TC is the highlight of the year for us at Tableau. I'm so happy to be able to be with you, Ish, now. If you've been to TC before, you'll recognize some classic TC experiences, reimagined for a virtual world. We've got devs at their desks instead of on stage. We have virtual Tableau doctor appointments with our own Tableau experts and brain dates for you to connect with others in the community. If this is your very first TC, welcome. This community is the warmest, smartest, most generous group of people I've been privileged to know. Don't hesitate to network and connect because there's not a more welcoming group out there. Getting to connect like this, even virtually, with our data fam is so inspiring. And let's be honest, after the year we've had so far, we all need some connection and some inspiration. It's been a tough year. We're worried about the health of our families, friends, communities, and the world. We're worried about our jobs and the economy. Some of us are desperate for a few moments of quiet in our busy homes. Others are managing the frustration and loneliness of isolation. We're all dealing with the fear and uncertainty of what's next. And what does this mean for all of us, for data people? In the past, I've told historical stories about how using data has changed the world. Here we are again, but this time we're living the story. We've never relied more on data to help us make sense of a world that feels so out of control. This year, every big story was a data story. Data made the term flatten the curve part of our everyday language. Data is how we understood the spread, the global trends, and the human cost of COVID. Data is how we understood the heart-stopping economic impact of this pandemic. And data shows promise as a powerful tool to aid the fight for racial equality and justice. We've always said that we all are data people. This year proved it. But the role that data played in these crises goes far beyond simply driving understanding. Data drove critical decisions. Data created impact. Data saved lives. Think back to February of this year. Honestly, I know it feels like 100 years ago. We all watched COVID's path from Asia to Southern Europe before flaring here on our shores in America. Here in Seattle, we felt the fear and bewilderment that came with being the first US hotspot. But what we went through was nothing compared to what cities like New York experienced. The whole world watched in sympathy and horror as cases exploded there. On March 1st, New York City confirmed its first case. By March 31st, total cases in the city passed 75,000. 1 week later, April 7th, nearly 600 people died in a single day. Emergency rooms and intensive care units overflowed. Doctors and nurses from across the country headed to New York to help relieve the strain. In the face of this exponential spread, city agencies stepped up with a secret weapon to help in the fight against COVID-19, to marshal the right resources, to flatten the curve and save lives. That secret weapon? was data. To tell us more about this, we've asked Kelly Jin, the Chief Analytics Officer of New York City, to join us. Kelly was at the eye of the storm, helping to oversee the administration's use of data to respond quickly to the crisis. Kelly, first of all, thank you for joining me. Wow, I mean, it felt like the entire world's eyes were on New York this spring.
It really did. It really did. And it's a pleasure to be here with you, Adam, and everyone for the conference.
Excellent. Well, it's so exciting to have you here. What did it feel like when you and your teams were in the midst of this crisis?
It really was literally the eye of the storm for us. So we were at the Emergency Operations Center, which is right down the street from me here in Brooklyn, 24/7, toward the end of February and March. And our work was really assessing what are all of the different data sets that are available, what do we need to integrate, and what are the high-level questions that need to be answered. And for us, that meant turning around the clock to do the analyses and deliver the insights that executives and policymakers needed at their fingertips. And I think for many of you who may be listening in from different jurisdictions, that was true across the world. And I know the response continues across many different jurisdictions, including New York City.
Such critical work. Can you tell us a little bit more about why analytics was so important to the city's response?
So we at the Mayor's Office of Data Analytics, when it's blue skies, our work, as I define analytics, is what is happening right now, why did it happen, and what's likely going to happen in the future, and what are we going to do about it? And so for us, we have a long tradition of working within emergencies here in the city within my office. And it was very, very critical that we not only delivered, but that we partnered with many different city agencies, including the fire department, the emergency management department here, as well as Department of Health, but many, many others. And I think one of the most interesting use cases and stories that we saw in the springtime for us here in New York City was around how do we assess the availability of ICU beds. Of course, you can imagine that's a data integration effort across many, many different sources, and then actually use that data to derive where should we be sending ambulances to. And I was very, very thrilled to have Tableau support and help. I used to work for U.S. Chief Data Scientist at the White House, DJ Patel, and he oftentimes used this term of force accelerators. And I know the Tableau team, you certainly all were force accelerators in springtime. For us, you came in, helped really to build out those data visualizations, whether that's regarding ICU beds or many, many other operational use cases to help us actually make better and faster decisions here in New York City.
It's just amazing, using data to tell ambulances where ICU beds are available. Incredible. So what did you and your teams learn about being ready for future crises?
Well, it's all about understanding what data you have. So for us, during blue skies, and I recommend this for every organization out there, it is critical you understand all of your data assets. First and foremost, I know data cataloging may not be at the top of everyone's minds, but it was critically important to us through the COVID response to know what was out there, what was available, and what could we actually lean on to help make decisions using data. And I think the second is I'll say that I really recommend that folks continue to invest in their analytics teams, in their data scientists. We are a small office of 10 here within a very, very large ocean of New York City. And I know for many jurisdictions, those that had robust data teams, analytics teams, really were the ones that were able to get their arms around the response. And I think will be that much more understanding around what the current and the future states will be around recovery as well.
You've made it through so much, and now the city is also focused on recovery. What role is data playing in that effort?
Data will still be integral around recovery. And I think for all of us keeping up with the news and current events, that will continue to be true. I think what was really pivotal for us early on, even through response, was understanding how different industries were doing. And so, Adam, you can imagine here in New York City wanting to understand how many restaurants are there in total, how are they all changing their hours, and what is the impact to COVID more broadly. And that extends into the housing and real estate markets and many, many other sectors as well. At the end of July, we were very fortunate. We launched the New York City Recovery Data Partnership, which is an initial cohort of 11 different data partners. Some of the larger ones include Foursquare, LinkedIn, as well as StreetEasy, which is Zillow Group's New York City brand. And for us, this is all about data sharing. So what data could we work with private sector companies on so that we're actually receiving more high-frequency, real-time data to inform our policy and decision-making? And I'm very, very excited to see how this partnership continues to grow in the upcoming months and in the year ahead.
Honestly, what an amazing story. Thank you so much, Kelly. I know that I speak for all of us when I say how much we admire you and your teams for the work you did and what you're continuing to do. And we all look forward to seeing New York come back stronger than ever.
Thanks so much, Adam. It's a pleasure to be here with you and a privilege, and look forward to hearing more about the conference.
Well, be well, and thank you again. The New York City story was obviously dramatic, but the issues they faced were far from unique. I know from conversations I was having with customers, governments, companies, and people all over the world were struggling to figure out how to respond. They were flying blind, without access to clean, accessible data that they needed to make critical decisions. Tableau, with the help of our amazing data fam, created the COVID-19 Data Hub to answer that need. We worked with partners to find multiple public data sources, combine them, clean them, and make them all available. Anyone could now analyze this data and even add in their own critical data. We also built a global COVID tracker with the latest analysis of COVID cases and hotspots for every country in the world. Our amazing community has created over 30,000 vizzes on every aspect of this crisis. Our partners created Jumpstart workbooks in critical areas such as human resource analysis. And the hub includes guidance on responsible and ethical use of sensitive data during this crisis. These resources have been viewed millions of times, and tens of thousands of organizations are relying on the hub. Lockheed Martin relied on Tableau to support operations during the COVID pandemic. A massive West Coast healthcare system was able to redistribute supplies and medical staff to hotspots. Humanitarian organizations like UNICEF, consulting firms like Deloitte, healthcare providers like UNC Health, and researchers like MIT have all relied on the COVID Data Hub to inform the public and to drive many of their most important decisions. It even got Hollywood's attention. Ashton Kutcher tweeted about it. I'm so proud of this community. You've helped so many people when the world has needed you the most. Now, in most years, COVID wouldn't just be a huge story, it would be the story. But COVID was just the first crisis to dominate the news this year. As more information about COVID cases in the US came out, it started to foreshadow another major crisis. Vizzes like this one made it crystal clear that COVID is disproportionately impacting the Black community and other communities of color. But look at criminal justice, healthcare, housing, education, unemployment, name a social issue, and it's likely impacting communities of color disproportionately. More broadly, the systemic inequality and racism that still exist in so many arenas is something we must address. And I firmly believe that this is one area in which Tableau can and should contribute uniquely: data. Data can influence change at every level, from local government to federal agencies, businesses, and community organizations. However, so many people working to drive racial equity are frustrated by the disaggregated, incomplete, inconsistent data that they must wrangle. There simply is no central repository for that data, and that's a significant hurdle. We've heard repeatedly that one of the most powerful ways that Tableau could help in this march for change would be to put our shoulder to the wheel alongside the wonderful organizations already working on this difficult data problem. Organizations like PolicyLink, a national research and action institute dedicated to advancing economic and social equity. I'm so proud that Tableau is working with PolicyLink, the Urban Institute, and other leading organizations and together we formed a Racial Justice Data Initiative. Together, we're making grants of software, services, and direct funding to support advocates and community organizations who will drive action at every level, from local to national. We're also standing up a rich data hub to connect people with data and resources that they need to do this work. Tableau is committing $12 million to this effort. To hear more about this partnership to bring data to racial justice, it's my honor to talk with Dr. Michael McAfee, the CEO of PolicyLink. Michael, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
And I'm really excited for our audience to hear from you directly, so why don't you take it away?
I'm honored to be here today because in some ways, this is a new audience for me, but it's an important audience. Whether you know it or not, you are at the edge of the equity movement. And you're at the edge of the equity movement because your brilliance and your insights and your data tools are doing something that we've long needed in the racial equity, racial justice movement. You're lifting the veil of ignorance. You're lifting the veil of ignorance around structural oppression that has been in place for more than 400 years in this country and how it impacts folks, people of color, white folks who get swept up in it. And you're also helping to bring voice to people who have for many years been saying their communities are not sustainable, their communities are suffering, and no one has listened. And so I'm excited to join you today because I've seen firsthand the power of data, the power of data analysis, and the power of having conscious leaders who know how to put data in context and to lead on that data. So I want to share a couple of observations and an invitation for you to think about. The first observation is this, that in this moment of racial awakening, data is critical to our understanding of how to move forward and how to craft solutions that actually really work. You have the capability right now to help join with the racial justice movement to ensure that that energy from the street gets translated into public policy that designs a world where everyone can participate, prosper, and reach their full potential. Now, that's no easy task. That task only happens if we can use data in a couple of ways. The first is if we can begin to disaggregate it so that we can actually see the humanity of folks in those data sets, so that we can see their unique stories, their unique challenges, the unique ways in which they experience structural barriers to opportunity in this nation. Now, we are at the early stages of being able to disaggregate data and have the right data sets that we need. That's why this partnership with you all in Tableau is so important. You're going to be giving us those tools to actually strengthen our data capacity. And so disaggregating data is essential if we're going to have really good equity conversations. But the second is to be able to put that data in context. And I'll give you a really good example. I've been participating in conversations around COVID data since this pandemic started. And we haven't been able to have good context for that data. In some meetings that I've been in, some of the medical professionals were concerned about even putting disaggregated data out there because they were concerned that it would cause people to not want to invest once they saw that the folks who were being most impacted or disproportionately impacted were poor folks, low-income folks, people of color. And so there've been this host of conversations. Now, while there is no causal data that says that disaggregating the data and putting it out there causes people to not invest, the history of structural racism in this country has people fearful of that reality. And so this is why having good quality data to guide strategy, to guide policy decisions is so important. You've been giving us insights into who's been hurt first and worst by this pandemic. But even more important, what you're about to help us do with this Racial Equity Hub is to take our National Equity Atlas work, which is the preeminent racial and economic scorecard for the nation, take that work to the next level. The work for our generation is to use everything at our disposal, the rigor of the data science, the rigor of data tools, to bring about a just and fair society in which everyone can participate, prosper, and reach their full potential. Some people think that's wishful thinking. Some people think that that's a soft ideal. It is not. If this nation is going to get beyond having 100 million folks in this country, 1 in 3 people who live in this country who are economically insecure, get out of that predicament, it's going to take all that we have. And we can start by making sure we have data that allows us to craft solutions that allow us to create an equitable nation, a nation where you have healthy communities of opportunities, a just society, and an equitable economy. Thank you.
Michael, it's an honor to be working together with you and our other partners. Thanks so much for joining us here.
My pleasure.
All right, take care and look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Michael just mentioned the National Equity Atlas. It's such a rich source of data, and I encourage you to check that out. Our Equity Data Hub, launching soon, will have tools and resources to empower you to make changes in your own communities. It will also include opportunities for our Tableau community to learn, create, share, and explore visualizations. To sign up for an alert when the hub goes live, go to tableau.foundation.org. Now, there's another real crisis in 2020 that we haven't talked about yet, the economic impact of COVID-19. Many industries and much of the entire economy froze overnight. Here in the US, 14 million people became unemployed in 3 months between March and May. The World Bank forecasts that the global economy will shrink by more than 5% this year, the deepest recession since the 1930s. We all scrambled to find our footing in this new reality. Thinking back to those early days, the pressure to make the right decisions was immense. Do we stop traveling? Do we keep our offices open? How do we keep employees safe? How do we keep our businesses healthy? I grappled with these same questions. These were massive decisions that would impact not just our thousands of employees, but their families and our customers and other local businesses. I use data a lot, but like most business leaders, I also rely on my body of experience, my intuition, pattern matching from what I've seen before, whatever you want to call it. Often that's a good thing. But this is my first pandemic, and absolutely none of my experience applied. In fact, instinct and experience weren't just useless, they were often actively unhelpful. It was not like anything else I'd ever experienced. And when all the assumptions you have about how the world works are turned upside down, when the laws of physics no longer seem to apply, your normal ways of thinking can lead you down a very bad road. My instincts told me to remain steady, not to be so reactive. Canceling in-person meetings? That's a bit paranoid, right? Closing our offices? Whoa, you'll cause a panic. And what if you're the only company to do it? When instinct failed me, I turned to my own secret weapon. I had data. And data helped me push back against my own instincts. It helped me understand the reality that we were in. Data helped us run our business in wildly unfamiliar circumstances. The data here has obviously been disguised, but this is how we decided to cut all travel and bring employees home. We were one of the first companies in our area to close our offices. This is how we monitored employee health. This is how we adjusted our sales approaches to make sure we were relevant and helpful to customers. This is how we understood the impact to finance and to marketing. In the most volatile business environment I have ever experienced, the one thing I could rely on was data. I wasn't alone. Across the globe, we've talked to organizations who leaned on data to make critical decisions, to stay relevant to customers, and to save jobs while facing challenges that none of us had ever faced before. Like Mod Pizza, they're relying on Tableau for rapid contact tracing to safeguard customers and employees across their hundreds of locations. This is critical to their operations and their people-first mission. Or Kulik & Sofa, a semiconductor company in Singapore. When COVID prevented them from traveling to factories to monitor quality in person, they created anomaly detection analyses to identify issues and intervene before faulty parts were loaded onto container ships. Without reimagining their quality control, how would they even operate? And Henkel, the massive European chemical and consumer goods company. They're relying on data and analytics to ensure they position the right PPE for their employees in each location. Without this, they cannot keep their factories running. Data has asserted its place as a critical enabler during these crises. But it's important to remember that it's not just about crises. Data is only going to become more important in the days and years to come. Just look at what's happened with the pace of digital transformation. A year ago, the world was already on a strong pace, marching relentlessly towards analytics ubiquity. But by March of 2020, it was like we were strapped to a digital rocket ship. McKinsey & Company estimates we experienced 5 years' worth of digital adoption in 8 weeks. And every digital transformation is a data transformation. Everything digital creates data, and we need to use all of that information to adjust to new scenarios, to deliver the best possible customer experiences, to keep businesses going. 2020 has proven everything you'd ever want to know about the role of data. Insight from data is saving jobs. Insight from data is saving lives. The superpower that data enables, the one that's driving these results, is adaptability. The ability to understand true facts, not what you once knew and not what you wish were true, and to pivot nimbly in response. Adaptability has become a critical competence. So in order to adapt at the pace you need, what does your relationship with data need to look like? First, you need to understand things fast. When New York City was facing exponential growth in COVID cases, accelerating decisions was literally a matter of life and death. Second, you need the full picture so you can identify what is driving impact. Michael from PolicyLink already showed us what a barrier it is not having the full picture on racial justice data. Third, you need to empower everyone across the organization to use data to drive better decisions. Pfizer, JP Morgan Chase, Woolworths, Honeywell, Nissan all have deployed Tableau to tens of thousands of employees. In any industry you can name, our customers are building a data culture by empowering everyone from the factory floor to the dealerships, from customer service to the executive team, to drive impact from top to bottom. Since our launch nearly 17 years ago, Tableau has been singularly focused on helping people see and understand data. Over that time, we've been building the broadest and the deepest analytics capabilities in the world. We have the most expansive and enthusiastic customer base, and you are growing data cultures within your organizations. We've been relentlessly focused on your success. And then a year ago, we joined together with Salesforce. It's proven to be an incredible team up. We share a belief that data is changing the world. We share a commitment to making data the heart of digital transformation. Joe Atkinson, the Chief Products and Technology Officer of PwC, Global Services Company, has firsthand experience with leveraging the power of our combined data analytics capabilities to serve clients, enable employees, and deliver results. We asked Joe to join us today to share his experience in how data is shaping their digital transformation and the way that his team works with Salesforce and Tableau on a daily basis. Joe, it's so great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Adam. Excited to be here.
I was delighted you're able to join us because PwC has had so much success with integrating analytics and data into daily processes using both Salesforce and Tableau. How have you made data analytics a part of your people's day-to-day?
Well, we were fortunate enough a few years ago to see the writing on the wall, if you will. We knew we needed to make bigger investments in our people's skills and the tools that were available to them, particularly with respect to data. So we made a massive investment for our firm, $3 billion over the course of the last few years to help skill them and provide them the tools that were going to help them serve our clients and our communities and, frankly, each other better as colleagues and employees. And that's been huge because we looked at everybody. We didn't take it by role or title or tenure. We wanted everybody to have an opportunity to have these tools that they're available to them and at the same time bring those tools to our clients who were demanding more value and better insights and where we could lower costs.
So Joe, how are you and your teams looking to use data analytics to adapt to a rapidly changing environment like the one we're all in today?
You know, Adam, I say often that I don't think any of us could have predicted or would have dared to predict the kind of challenges we're all facing today. And in today's environment, you've got volatility, you've got uncertainty, you've got commitments we're all making to our clients and our employees about how we're going to navigate through all this. That requires a lot of good insight to be at the ready, and it needs to be speed and quality, and all of the attributes we look for need to be there. So when you have that, to have the kind of technology tools available to us, really critical. But if you have those technology tools without people that know how to use them and put them to work, then it's not going to get you very far. And so our ability to take advantage of the investments that we've made in upskilling and training our people and giving them those data skills, and then bringing the technology to bear with them, that's been critical to us navigating through this really challenging period.
So here's a what if for you. If you hadn't gone all in on data culture several years back, how different would your situation be today after the series of challenges that you faced this year?
Yeah, there's no question in my mind, Adam, we'd be behind. And in fact, we may be way behind. And in fact, when we talk to clients and we see out in the market, there's clients that are coming to the realization now, unfortunately, that they need to start making these investments, and they're really playing catch up to try to get the skills to the level that they need to navigate in the environment. But it's not even just the current environment, it's the way business operates today and the velocity that moves at. If we hadn't made the investments in our people, if we hadn't made the investments in our tech, I have no doubt we'd be behind. On the flip side, I couldn't be happier that we made them. It helped us make the pivot in the pandemic. It helped us create value during very challenging times, and our clients have noticed, which has been great.
Well, PwC gives out a lot of advice. You've given us a lot of great advice over the years. For companies looking to invest in their own digital transformations with data at the core, what would your advice to them be?
You know, Adam, a lot of companies are under a lot of strain, and I recognize everybody doesn't have the same investment capacity that they may have had previously. But having said that, it could not be more important to keep investing in digital skills and technologies today than it's ever been. And I think understanding that these investments are critical today, not for navigating through the pandemic, but where this all takes us and what business looks like, I think that's the first critical piece. Don't let up on the accelerator if you have the ability to do that. The second piece I would say is, if you think about jobs, I often say there's a whole conversation we used to have as leaders and employers of tech jobs and non-tech jobs. The reality is there are just jobs, and they all are going to require technology skills. People will have to be comfortable with applying the kind of tools and technologies that bring insight, that bring that rapid understanding of what's happening in the environment. So bringing that together is really important. And last but not least, there's a really important role for the right technology and tools in a tech transformation, as you know. But there's also a huge important element, which is getting the talent where you need the talent to go. And that's, I think, an obligation many of us share as employers. Obviously, the employees have an obligation in this transaction, if you will, in this handshake. But I think as employers, we've got to help equip our people with the skills that not only make them more relevant in our employ today, but wherever their careers take them. We've got to build them up and help them get where they need to go. If we can do that the right way, everybody wins. The employee wins, our communities win, our employers win, because we've got better skilled people using better tools to give us better results.
Well, thanks, Joe. I mean, what a fascinating look at the role of data culture at a thought leader and innovative company like PwC. We really appreciate the partnership between our companies, and I really enjoyed having you here and chatting with you today.
Adam, it was great to be with you. We enjoy the partnership. It's really important to us. So thank you for the time, and I hope you all have a great conference.
Thanks again. Be well. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Talking to customers like PwC is a great reinforcement of why we're so excited to be part of Salesforce. We can innovate faster than we could alone. We can tap into the sophisticated AI and machine learning capabilities that Salesforce has built. More coming on that in a few minutes today. We can further embed analytics right into the flow of applications that people are using today. We can create a better platform and a better experiences for you. I was optimistic a year ago, and everything I've seen since makes me absolutely sure that this was the right choice for us, and more importantly, for you. Earlier this year, we brought together the Tableau and Einstein Analytics teams under one roof, two unbelievably talented teams now working together to make analytics even more powerful and delightful. We're also bringing together the best Tableau capabilities and the best of Einstein Analytics. Over time, these capabilities will work more and more seamlessly together to unlock amazing new experiences. We're going to show you more about that today. Add in the power of the rest of the Salesforce portfolio, and you have the world's leading analytics platform made broader and deeper than ever before. We're going to take a short break now, but don't go too far. When we come back, our Chief Products Officer, Francois Ajenstat, is going to take you through our latest platform innovations and talk about how we are bringing this incredible vision together. We'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Hi, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with you in this incredible community. In a year unlike any other, one thing hasn't changed. We still wake up each and every day thinking about how we can help people see and understand data. This is what drives our innovation. Stories like those we've just heard today, stories from all of you. Because data improves organizations, our communities, and our lives. And this past year, we've accelerated our pace of innovation. We've delivered a lot of new features in Tableau. New features like our new data modeling capabilities that make analyzing complex data easier. Metrics that help you keep track of the key numbers in your data. And we've expanded Tableau Prep to enable you to write to any database, so you can use our data prep capabilities for any use case. Plus, we delivered animations and buffer calculations, and yes, even dynamic parameters. With more than 200 features delivered in the last 12 months, Tableau remains the broadest and the deepest analytics platform on the market. A platform that people love to use, that combines visual analytics, data prep, storytelling, and collaboration. A platform that's easy to get started and scale, no matter where your data is stored or where you want to deploy it, on premises or in the cloud. And it's supported by all of you, the broadest, most passionate community on the planet. Today, I'm going to share with you how we're extending our platform forward in new and exciting ways. As Adam mentioned earlier, in these unique times, adaptability is a critical competence. Putting data in the hands of the right people at the right time is crucial to help you adapt to changing situations. Now, to do this, you need an analytics platform that empowers everyone, provides you with a complete picture, and it gives you speed and agility. Because after all, data is a team sport, and data is at its most powerful when it's in the hands of every single person. So we're working on democratizing analytics for everyone, so you can use data to make better decisions faster, easily share and collaborate with your peers, and quickly curate and scale analytics organization-wide. We're working to make Tableau even more personal, more relevant, and more engaging, ready wherever and whenever people need insights. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Our Senior Vice President of Product Development and self-confessed data geek, Ellie Fields, will show you what's coming next to empower everyone with data. Ellie, since we can't do fist bumps this year, I'll throw the ball over to you. I'm going to throw the pineapple over to you to kick off the demo. You ready?
Thank you, Francois. We all know how important it is to build a data culture. In a strong data culture, data becomes part of the business flow. People are able to find insights in data and regularly share them with one another. We're pleased to announce new capabilities to help you build a data culture. First, how you can stay on top of your data. Tableau is already the home of all kinds of business insight. How do you stay up to date? Of course, Tableau can send you email, and that kind of works. But like many of you, I'm often out and about. I'm not always checking Tableau or checking email. But I am on my phone, and I'm always on Slack. I'm happy to announce that we are bringing Tableau to Slack. Now you can put your data front and center, right with your most important conversations. And you'll get notifications about your data just like any Slack notification. It looks like I just got an alert about the error rate in our service. Right here in Slack, I can click into the notification and see the image of the alert so I can see why it fired. Or I can click to go to the live dashboard in Tableau Mobile. What better way to build a data culture than to get data right into the flow of everyday work? Now, let me move over to my laptop. When I'm in Tableau in the browser, I see this bell at the top of my screen. And when I click it, I see a completely revamped notification center. Not only is it information-rich, but it's got all my important changes, including the alert that just fired and a view a colleague shared to me. For some, I can take action right in the pane, like to refresh and extract. Or I can go into the dashboard to learn more. These notifications help me stay on top of everything in my data world. Subscriptions, alerts, shares, comments, right here in one place. They'll be in your favorite channel, whether that's Slack, email, another business system, or right in Tableau. Now, I've also been working on a new analysis, and I want to finish it. But I don't have Tableau Desktop on this machine. What's a modern analyst to do? Well, we want to give you the best of Tableau, completely in the browser, no desktop required. Next year, you'll have an end-to-end browser experience, so your users can analyze data anywhere. I've just built a new dashboard right in the browser. And it's got all kinds of powerful analytical features, sets, actions, formatting, and more. And look at those sweet animations. The problem is, I'm still not quite done. How do I keep this private until it's ready to share? Well, we're adding personal spaces to Tableau. This is a place to save things until I'm ready to share them. For users that don't have desktop or just want to be able to access their work anywhere, this gives you all your work right inside Tableau Server or Tableau Online. It's a safe place where you can explore, create, and share when you're ready. And for admins, keeping unfinished work out of projects and searches means less clutter on your server. Keeping things private until they're ready to share. This kind of governance is critical to support a data. Now, I also need to make a few quick changes to this very popular, already published dashboard. One last change, I'm going to add marks to labels, one of the great new analytical features we added last year, and it looks great. It looks perfect. It's exactly the way I want. Oops, I accidentally closed the tab, and I've lost all my work. That's the worst. But if this happens to you, never fear. We've got you. We're adding autosave to Tableau. If I refresh the page, I'll now see draft. I can go back to where I was or discard the changes. Autosave in Tableau, because we all deserve a second chance. A complete end-to-end browser experience requires advanced analytical features like actions and sets. But it also means users need a great experience, a safe place to save work, and autosave for when those mistakes happen. Tableau is providing market-leading flexibility across desktop and the web. Now, it's great that we have these new insights, but if I never share them, do they really exist? If a dashboard falls in the woods and it doesn't share an insight, does it make a sound? In a thriving data culture, your Tableau environment is flooded with content. You can try to organize it by project, but it's hard for people to find things. So they build wikis or email links around. What if I had a place I could put all of them? Today, we're introducing a better way for everyone in the data culture to curate and share their knowledge. We call it collections. Collections are new places where you can group related content together from anywhere on your server. If projects are like albums, then collections are like a playlist. You can remix your data however you want, just like you'd create a running playlist. This is a collection about a cross-team project addressing a surge in demand. I've added some dashboards and some metrics showing KPIs. By the way, those metrics look pretty sweet, don't they? And to add more, I can simply find what I want to add and put it in the collection. You can build a collection for anything, for weekly reports, cross-team initiatives, for onboarding, so your new team members have a great starting point. In the future, we'll make collections more visual and let you embed visualizations and ask data right in the pane so people can ask a new question. Now, this is what a data culture should look like. You and your team, always up to date. Data and analytics, wherever you need them. And experiences for people at all skill levels to use data right in their workflow. Thank you, Francois.
That was fantastic, Ellie. Great job. Complete browser-based analytics, a personal space that houses all of your analysis, collections to easily curate and organize content, and analytics that automatically reach people wherever they are. That's the power and flexibility to deliver self-service analytics at scale. But we must balance self-service with governance. This means empowering people while maintaining the right control and security. After all, the insights we gain from data are only as trustworthy as the data itself. And that's why trust is at the core of the Tableau platform, enabling you to meet your governance, security, and compliance needs while delivering self-service analytics. And we've been adding powerful data management capabilities directly into the Tableau platform to help you trust your data. From data prep to data catalog, data certification to query federation. The Tableau data management capabilities help you discover all of your data, see how it's being used, view its lineage and impact analysis. And because it's integrated into the analytics platform, you're able to bring value to all of your users. IT gets the visibility into how all of the data is being used, how it's being transformed. They can curate and add definitions to the data. And end users have the confidence that they're using the right data for their analysis so they can trust their decisions. Everyone benefits from data management. To show you what's next in data management, please welcome one of our star innovators, Maraki Ketema. Maraki, the pineapple is all yours.
Thanks, Francois. As Adam mentioned earlier today, data is more important than ever before. And as a Black woman, I'm proud of the steps that we're taking in partnership with all of you to fight racial inequity with data. No matter what kind of data you're working with, it's gotta be clean. We wanna give you the flexibility to prepare your data from anywhere, whether it's on the desktop or on the web. I'm so excited to introduce Tableau Prep for the browser. Here's a flow that cleans sales data. All the data connectivity options, everything you know and love, 100% of the features are all available right here. Now this flow currently has two outputs. The first is a published data source, so users authoring vises can be successful. The second one outputs to a database, one of our most requested and newest features. It's currently writing out to a SQL Server table. This gives people the flexibility to use this clean data inside and outside the Tableau platform. Tableau Prep in the browser brings the full power of self-service data preparation to everyone, enabling you to prepare data anywhere for any use case. Now, this flow has been operationalized using Prep Conductor, and right now it's refreshing once a day. Everything in this flow automatically shows up in the Tableau catalog. From here, you can see the SQL Server table that we were outputting from our flow. You can also see that there are 93 workbooks that depend on this flow. We're working on making things even more automatic. Keeping data like this fresh is business critical, but sometimes flows run into problems. And today, admins and data stewards are notified the moment the flow fails. But what about everyone else? People building vises or viewing dashboards use this data and need this information as well, so they can trust the data. Well, today, I'm happy to tell you that we're introducing automated data quality warnings. Let me show you. At the top of the Tableau catalog, I can go ahead and add a refresh monitor. We'll select Prep Flow Monitoring, select the type of data quality warning, and paste in the message I'd like my users to see. And now when this flow fails, a data quality warning will be generated automatically. Just like everything else in the catalog, these automatically generated data quality warnings flow all the way to vises and dashboards so all users can see them. For example, take a look at this dashboard. Here is the data quality warning that tells me there's a problem I need to pay attention to. And from data details, we can see the warning. It's an extract refresh warning. With features like automated data quality warnings, Tableau Catalog embeds trust and visibility into every layer, making data management easier than ever. But there's another element to trust. Sensitive data is everywhere, and you want to trust your users with the right data. What you want is a central location to define, debug, and manage data access. And I'm happy to announce that our next big leap innovation in the data management space is centralized row-level security. Here we are back in Tableau Server. We're introducing a new concept to manage data access and security policies. Here are the tables that make up a sales data model. Right now, it contains info about sales transactions, sales agents, and the accounts they're responsible for. Now, I want to protect this sensitive data and make sure people only see data about their accounts, and we can do that using security policies. At the moment, there are 2 security policies. We'll delve a little deeper into this one. Defining and debugging your security policies is easy. On the right, I can see the security policy expressed as a calculation, and it's evaluated for every row. Now, as it's currently defined, executives will be able to see all the data. Sales agents will only be able to see the rows associated with their names. But what about managers? Making edits to this policy is simple. Let's define the access for managers. All right. And now a manager can see the rows where their name appears in the manager's column, which allows them to see data about their entire team. With centralized row-level security, checking your work is visual and direct. You can verify exactly who's going to see what data. For example, a sales agent like Alexis can only see 3 rows because that's the data associated with her accounts. Whereas a manager like Darnell can see over 1,000 rows because those are the rows associated with his team. We know that visibility is important to you. People in your organization should be able to easily see which data sets have security policies applied to them. And we bring that information right to you. Here's the lineage information for this data. And from here, I can see that a security policy exists for 2 tables. Here they are. Powerful. With Tableau Data Management, you get a complete picture of all your data. Now, today was just a sneak peek. There's much more to come, and we can't wait to get these innovations into your hands. Francois, back to you.
Awesome. That was really great. I love Prep Builder in the browser. The Tableau catalog, it just keeps getting more and more powerful. And centralized row-level security, a feature that many of you have asked for, will make securing data easier and more flexible than ever. To be adaptable, you also need speed and agility. And this has been the hallmark of Tableau, helping people get insights more quickly, staying in the flow of analysis, and making it easy for anyone to ask questions of their data. It's more than just visualizations. It's about enabling deeper thinking, giving people the freedom to explore data without limits. That's why people love using Tableau. And we're always looking to make the complex simple, providing powerful capabilities while making it easily accessible to more people. Well, we're about to make a giant leap forward by bringing Einstein Discovery to Tableau. Einstein Discovery is a core AI technology within Salesforce that helps you find statistical patterns in your data that can reveal key insights automatically. It helps with predictions such as likelihood to buy or whether a customer will return a product. Einstein Discovery is like having a data scientist with you at all times. And Einstein Discovery will be integrated across the Tableau products, in dashboards and calculations, and even in prep. To show you these new capabilities in action, please welcome one of our newest members of our data family, Bobby Brill. Bobby, the pineapple is coming your way.
Thank you, Francois. Hello, Tableau community. I'm Bobby with the Einstein Discovery team, focused on AI-powered data discovery and predictions. This is my very first Tableau conference, and I'm excited to share with you how we're bringing the power of Einstein Discovery to all of Tableau. As a product manager, I love analyzing data, especially customer adoption data, because that tells me whether or not I'm building useful products that are solving customer problems. In this example customer adoption dashboard, which is similar to one that I look at on a frequent basis, I can see the count of new users this month, along with a breakdown of views by various product areas. I'm interested in learning what's driving users to come back on a more frequent basis so that I can make data-driven decisions on adoption. Let's see what Einstein has to tell me about the likelihood of users staying engaged. Introducing the Einstein Discovery Extension. I can see the average predicted engagement rate in real time right here in my dashboard. And not only can I get an average prediction across my records, which Einstein is telling me is only 39%, I can see what's driving that prediction. And it's all based on my historical data. I can see that users in the high-tech industry that are viewing the in-app help topic on a more frequent basis are more likely to stay engaged. I can also see when the account team is not engaged with their customers, that's having a negative impact on the overall user engagement rate. But Einstein doesn't just give me predictions. I can also get suggestions on how to improve my predicted outcome. Right here, Einstein is giving me some top improvement options, and I can see that if I can get users to take the basic and intermediate training, they will be more likely to stay engaged. I'll be sure to share this insight with my team so that we can start moving the adoption needle. And because this is inside my Tableau dashboard, it's also interactive. Every time I click, I get a new prediction on the fly. How cool is that? And I built this predictive model inside Einstein Discovery with absolutely no code. I simply provided a historical usage dataset, and Einstein Discovery took care of the rest. It's point and click and simple. But the power of predictions are not just for dashboards. We've integrated Einstein Discovery across all of Tableau, including the Tableau calculation engine. And it's as simple as creating a calculated field and using the new Einstein Discovery connection. I'm interested in seeing the average predicted user engagement rate by the highest level of training those users have completed. I'll start by dragging the highest training completed field into my rows shelf. Because Einstein Discovery does row-level predictions, I'll include the row ID in my details. And last, I created a calculated predicted user engagement field because I don't have this persisted in my data source. And when I click and drag that onto my column shelf, I get real-time dynamic predictions powered by Einstein Discovery coming from my Salesforce instance. And just like that, I was able to slice my data and predict. And it's clear that the users that take the intermediate and advanced level trainings are more likely to stay engaged. But what if your company's like mine and uses Tableau Prep to clean and prepare your data sources prior to building your visualizations? Well, that's exactly why we've integrated Einstein Discovery directly into Tableau Prep. And it's all done through clicks. Here's an example of my prep flow where I'm joining my user adoption metrics with training usage. To insert predictions, I can click and add a new prediction node. I can select my prediction from Einstein Discovery. I'll use the predictive engagement score. And now I can bulk score all my data. And look, there's my new prediction column. And it's got predictions. And remember the top improvements and predictors I showed you in the dashboard? You'll get those written directly to the data source as well. Simply check these boxes and choose the number of predictors and improvements you want included. It's that simple. And when I run my flow, all rows of data will get a prediction. And this data source is ready to be consumed. That way, your fellow dashboard authors don't have to worry about setting up an integration to get the full power of Einstein Discovery. Prep does all the work for you. This is super powerful. By integrating Einstein Discovery across all of Tableau, not only can you see what happened with your data, but you'll get a view into the future with predictions. I can't wait to see how you use this in your organization. Back to you, Francois.
Boom! That is such a cool demo. Can't wait for this community to get access to it. It's so easy to use Einstein Discovery right inside of Tableau. And everyone will be able to use the power of data science and bring it to even more people. Einstein Discovery is just one of the many powerful capabilities that are part of Einstein Analytics. Einstein Analytics is the native experience embedded right into Salesforce. It brings actionable analytics directly in the flow of the Salesforce users. It solves that swivel chair problem, and it delivers insights where people work. And as Adam mentioned earlier, our teams have come together under one roof. And now our products are coming together too. Well, I'm pleased to announce that we're bringing together Tableau and Einstein Analytics. We're going to combine the best of both products to deliver an even broader and deeper platform. And we'll be doing this by building deep integrations between Tableau and Einstein Analytics. We'll make sure we deliver a seamless experience for our joint customers, that there are no dead ends. And this means that data in Einstein Analytics will be available in Tableau so you can benefit from secure and native access to your Salesforce data. Einstein Analytics will be able to leverage data from Tableau so you have common, well-curated data anywhere it needs to be accessed. Our data prep capabilities will be able to write to both Tableau and Einstein Analytics so you can use the right tool for your needs. And we'll have a unified authoring experience. So you have to create the content only once and consume it anywhere, in Salesforce, in Tableau, or embedded in your apps. Now, as part of these changes, we're also going to change the name of Einstein Analytics to Tableau CRM. Tableau CRM is the best solution to deliver contextual and actionable analytics to every Salesforce user. We're very excited about this journey. It won't happen overnight, and so we remain very committed to your success. We will retain and build on the current capabilities you depend on, even as we innovate and expand going forward. Now, as we look beyond our unified analytics vision, it's been extremely exciting to go deep into the Salesforce platform, the innovations, and working across the company on ways that we can accelerate our mission. There's so much technology across Salesforce that we can use to help you unlock, analyze, and take action on your data. For example, we're working with MuleSoft, the #1 integration platform to allow you to unlock even more data sources. MuleSoft can connect to hundreds of sources of data, from applications to APIs. And all of those sources will be just one click away for you to use in Tableau. We're also working with Datorama to help you analyze all of your marketing data much more easily with Tableau. Datorama is a powerful platform for marketers to integrate and harmonize marketing data. And we'll soon have a native connector to Datorama so you can easily explore that data live in Tableau. And keep an eye out for even more integrations with all of the Salesforce products to unlock the full value of the Salesforce Customer 360. We're working on improved connectivity, authentication, and new dashboard starters, and so much more to make Tableau the #1 analytics platform for all Salesforce customers. We're accelerating innovation with Salesforce because we know that no matter what the future holds, we all need to be adaptable. We need speed, a complete picture, and we need to empower everyone with data. That's where we're going, and I couldn't be more excited about the road ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Francois. What an energizing vision for the platform. I'm so excited on behalf of our customers. We're innovating as fast as we can to help all of you be more adaptable. and to help even more people see and understand data. I'm just as excited about this community and what I know we're going to achieve together. There's no one I'd rather have on my side in trying times than the Tableau community. And now, with Einstein Analytics and the entire Salesforce Trailblazer community, our data fam just got a whole lot bigger. We have a great Tableau conference for you, and there's no ish about that. It's so great to be here with our customers, our partners, and our sponsors who helped us figure out how to bring TC to this virtual experience, including our diamond sponsor, Snowflake. Up next, our CTO, Andrew Beers, and Netflix co-founder, Mark Randolph, are going to discuss data's role in driving impact in the 21st century. But before we move on to that, we have a special treat for you. I'm really excited to introduce an incredible guest who's joining TC this week. He'll be joining a powerful fireside chat later. He's going to be giving us a special performance later this week. And now he's going to perform just for you. I know you know him, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award-winning singer-songwriter, John Legend.